What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is Arden as I'm checking out the Godforge Beta again. We are 12 days deep, grinding out, just testing sort of everything. As you can see, I'm sort of level 40 up in the top corner there. Managed to finally crack through and finish everything. I just got to try and wrap up all the stars remaining on Occur. Um, Overall, it's been good. It's been really positive. There's obviously teething issues. Being a beta, that's to sort of be expected. Um, but I've felt it's been really engaging, and it's sort of drawn me into the story. Is definitely something that's been interesting. Um, Obviously, the visuals and stuff like that in still in development, all that sort of kind of stuff. But the overall sort of story, it looks interesting, and it looks like something that can definitely move forward and sort of engage people a little bit more with the lore and sort of all that kind of stuff. Um, obviously, like with the stages, obviously you're gonna get sort of gear here and stuff like that. Um, and then each here sort of labels what gear you can get. I wouldn't be nice to maybe see sort of something just to reaffirm, just in case you've clicked the wrong level, just to sort of let you know that you've clicked the right level. And even just with here, like obviously the 3-star requirements, just blacking them out and potentially just letting you know what you've sort of missed because it's obviously visible, clearly visible here. But again, sometimes people forget they could have been pulled away, just blacking them out and letting them know sort of what you need to sort of do moving forward. Um, but I mean, for me, it's all very sort of minor stuff in terms of the game. So obviously, can see it's still fairly inconsistent with the screen. That could be my computer. I definitely don't have any issues playing on iOS. Um, on my mobile, there is a few. We'll do a dungeon. You want to just do this? The The rifts, I think, are honestly, a really cool addition. My biggest gripe with a few sort of other games and stuff like that is farming the necessarily upgrade materials for their abilities and stuff like that, which we'll chuck it on a rift. We'll just do it. Um, Being able to scale those up, like get the pages, put it into the first book, put it into the second book. Um, it's going to be really, really handy just leveling those characters and you're not like unnecessarily sort of trying to wait for a specific drop. So here's your rift. Um Grinding out things like other games, you're waiting for a specific dungeon or a specific boss, and you have a chance of potentially getting the right book that you need. You could be waiting a week or a month to get that last book to max out the person's sort of level. Uh, I think it's a really sort of good addition. The bosses, like again, beta, but it still feels really clean. You got sort of different viewpoints. The ultimates, I feel like their faith and divinity system are definitely interesting from all the games that I've played. They typically have like your basic, like your A1, your A2, your A3, and then yeah, so you got your standard rewards and then your rift rewards. So your pages of knowledge, which then you can in turn, and then these rift keys you earn throughout sort of normal sort of gameplay. Um, the squad that I've sort of been, I'll say, smashing through the campaign ever since I sort of pulled a few new ones. I got Freya from the guaranteed legendary pool, um, Inari, Musashi, who's just an absolute weapon of a person taking out a ton of sort of people, and then Bastet. Uh, she's been absolutely unreal. Just massive attack, just hitting left, right, and center. For the gear sort of thing, gearing I found a little clunky, to be perfectly honest. Um, it's all relatively sort of straightforward. The gears here, the gears there, enhance, remove. With this sort of here, so I didn't click on it until maybe like 3 or 4 days in. Being relatively new to sort of, I didn't read up. I just wanted to go in with a fresh face. You can sort of click across and it'll give you like it's a 2 piece set, 4 piece set, 6 piece set. It'd be sort of nice if this was sort of extended down a little bit and it gave you a description for all six to see if it's sort of worth like you see your two, your four, your six, just on sort of each one. That way you can sort of try and balance it a little bit better. The attunement sort of section, again, similar to ascending, the sort of stuff, but it's really good. The weapons, the imprints, it's all, for me, it all feels really, really positive. I think is like just but with the gear, adding like an armory, because I can't do anything in the bag. Like you can sort of look, you can sell, but even if they just, you got the smithy for the weapons. So if they go from the smithy and just added like an armory over here or something like that, I obviously have no idea what their plans are and going from there, but just in like a nice little smithy, sorry, an armory here where you can upgrade, you can sell. Um, That way you can bulk sell, bulk enhance, sort of trying to chase that perfect roll god tier piece. Um, I think another thing for the campaign is sort of once you 3-starred everything, that you should have an option sort of in your thing to skip the story every time because it's got, like it would get sort of very monotonous and tedious once you get to a point where you're wanting to farm a specific level and you're constantly having to skip, 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 skip. And then maybe even potential options for, obviously you got your multi battle and stuff like that, but even options for like quick battles and limit them to sort of like uh, maybe 10 a day or 20 a day or something like that. And if they do hold tournaments later down the road or something along those lines where you earn points, like those quick battles don't attribute to the points or anything like that, so that there's no, you don't just hoard for a year and then smash out all those points and you easily become first because of these quick battles and that or the like. Um, but touching on the heroes a little bit again, like I've definitely sort of found it fairly unique in the sort of the ultimates, like the Awaken, the Ascending, very similar to sort of other games. Abilities, obviously, are abilities, um, but honestly, I don't have too many bad things to say about the game. It's still beta. There's still teething issues sometimes with the attacks. Um, I'll see if I can get it to trigger. We'll do it in. Yes, I'm here. Just go battle. The the 1 times, 2 times, and 3 times speed, sensational. Obviously, you 1 time, so you want to see it. You can sort of use it as a guide to sort of see damage and sort of applying. I wouldn't mind the, it's down to 1. We can sort of see. Obviously, you got your sort of positive effects and negative effects on top. I wouldn't mind them a little bit bigger. You can click and sort of go through, and it'll tell you the effects to sort of everyone, so you sort of can pause it. Obviously not on auto, but and then it gives you the, like you can click it on here in full description just in case you sort of you forget something or you can sort of do so. These little things I definitely feel is a positive, like a move in the sort of right direction. Um, Even just I know the health bar is massive, but just even these a little bit sort of more clear, a little bit more visible, especially on the mobile. Like yeah, it's visible, it's readable, but obviously the bigger the better. Just as a guideline or something like that. Honestly, I don't think there's sort of much else. It's all sort of little things that you sort of come across that you sort of want to be improved. But like the story, the visuals, honestly, I'm super excited to sort of moving forward. Oh, and the XP. That's another thing. The XP sort of moving forward is definitely a different edition where you don't need to take your weaker characters in and find the perfect level to farm for food, and I think that's definitely a better system where you can take your best people in, clear the level as quickly as humanly possible without having to sort of rely on, all right, I need to do 3A because that's the quickest for my team, and yeah, it's interesting. I'm definitely liking the direction. Um, the one hero that I sort of do have my eye on just because of the Norse sort of mythology and stuff like that. Where is he? Odin. But that's just me. I can't wait to if I can pull him, that'd be great. But obviously, being an Eternal, it's definitely going to be lot difficult, a lot more difficult. English is not good today. All right, well, the beta's got about 2 days left. I hope you guys keep looking out for it and stay tuned for the next video because I will be pulling all of these shards. I will have a guaranteed legendary here, and I got 5 of those to sort of pull. So, hope you guys join us on the next beta, and we'll go from there. Peace.